Tuesday, April 15th. Coming up live on The View. CNN conservative political contributor Margaret Hoover's guest co-hosting and taking on the hottest topics you're talking about right now. Plus, Transcendent star Morgan Freeman. Then, check out cutting-edge style innovations that'll stretch your wardrobe without stretching your closet space or your budget. And the cast of Aladdin is granting your wish with a performance from the most magical musical on Broadway. It all starts now on The View.
Hello, and welcome to The View. Joining us as our guest co-host, please welcome CNN political contributor, the fabulous Margaret Hoover. Hello, Margaret.
You look amazing for having a baby just 8 months ago.
Oh, thank you.
Well, the craziest thing is I looked up and I thought, because they kept saying, where's Jenny, where's Jenny?
I know.
And I'm thinking she's standing right there because I could see only from behind, so it was like crazy.
I'll take her behind.
Well, let me say this. You're the author of the new book, American Individualism, How a Generation of Conservatives Can Save the Republican Party. Now, there's an election coming up. Girl, what do they need to, can you tell them what to do, please?
Well, I work on modernizing the Republican Party from the gay rights angle. So what I try to do is try to convince the Republican Party that we should really be for the full freedom to marry. If we're the party of individual freedom, we should be for the party. Actually, you'd be surprised. 8 states passed marriage this year, and we had Republicans voting for it in every single one of those because of the work we're doing.
What you have done to try to get people to join the Republican Party is focus on specific issues.
Exactly.
But in general, do you think the Republican Party has to make changes?
100%. We have to. Because we're not going to appeal to a new generation if we don't change on some of these issues.
What are the,
so for gay rights, we have to be for gay rights. We have to have a pro-freedom agenda when it comes to the environment, when it comes to economics, when it comes to debt and deficits, all these issues. I think we can appeal to young people, but we're going to have to change some of what we
have you met any, because I know Meghan McCain came on and she really talks about it. She talks about, we love Meghan, about inclusion and about, you know, people of color and gay people. Have you got in resistance from espousing this?
No, look. No, well, I gotta be honest. Look, some people don't want to change, right? Yeah. But you have to begin to have those conversations. And actually, if you don't have the conversation, then you make it possible for somebody to change their mind and to open their mind.
Widening the tent.
Exactly. We got to be the party, the big tent again.
Do you see? I'm sorry, baby.
No, I wanted you to tell everyone who your great-grandfather is, because I love this little factoid about you.
Herbert Hoover is somebody that not a lot of people know a lot about. Barbara and I were talking about that.
An unsung, I can't say hero, but yeah,
he really was. I mean, for his humanitarian work, he saved over 1 billion people through food assistance by delivering food during World War I and World War II in the name of saving lives, and not in the name of his country over anybody else's country, but just saving people's lives. He delivered more food assistance than any other president.
He was at the same period as FDR. I'm sorry. No, he was at the same period as FDR, who was such a huge figure that he dwarfed everyone.
And he was really, his reputation was belittled by FDR through just partisanship. And so we've lost this story of this true American hero and this real humanitarian. So,
well, you're carrying a tradition of changing the world too, young lady.
That's right. Well, just before I move on, do you see anyone in the future for the Republican Party? Is there anybody that's exciting you, or?
You got to be the change you want to see in the world. I just want to stand for the party that I want to be part of.
Jeb Bush, Chris Christie, the names we hear.
You know what? I want to brawl. I want it all out there, and I want them to really fight for the young people.
Nice.
And I want sort of competition. I want the best person to rise from the competition.
I like that. Me too. Now, speaking of a brawl, Barbara, some of your friends recently did something you found a bit extraordinary. Tell everybody what it is.
I thought it was fun to talk about. Yeah. I have a friend named Cindy Adams who writes a wonderful, provocative column in the New York Post. And she is not a big fan of Woody Allen's. And she went to the opening night of Bullets Over Broadway, which is great fun, by the way, the musical, which Woody Allen wrote and so forth. So she was waiting outside the theater, and Woody Allen came up to her, and she was sort of taken aback because she has not written very nice things about him. And he said, "I know you hate me." And she said, "Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. She said, "I always thought you were a," I can't use the word, but it starts with S, all right, and it ends with T. Thank you. I could always count on my friends.
I know these words.
Yeah, so he said, "You know, you've always thought I was that." And she said, "I always did." And he said, "Well, maybe if you knew me better." So now she says she's never going to write another bad thing about him because she was so impressed by his courage.
Healthy.
So here's the question that, you know, I'm not just telling you about Cindy, but if you know that there's someone who really doesn't like you at all, and even with your kid, you know, do you confront them or do you just let it pass and go on?
I think anytime you carry resentment, hate, or anger, it's unhealthy. But sometimes, you know, I'm surprised it does take the other person to come up to you and try to make peace. It takes a lot of courage.
I wonder, though, if you are not dealing with this person on a regular basis, you know, why are you, if I'm dealing with you, we work together. It's not healthy for us to not be liking each other. Then I think, yes, we've got to come and make some type of, and I love you too, Barbara. but my question is, Whoopi, if I don't deal with you on a regular basis, then why am I spending all this energy trying to make it okay when I need to be spending energy with the people that love me?
You know, does Woody Allen want him to write good things about her?
I think one of the things that tends to happen with people, particularly with columnists, is they can hit you every day if they want to.
Right.
Okay. And so you figure Woody's not a teenager. She's not a teenager. She's written some really rough stuff about Woody. And maybe at this age, he's like, look, I'm going to have to see you because you're going to be seeing more of my stuff. So maybe I should make an active effort to say something to you.
Is this something that you guys would be willing to do? Would you go up to someone and confront them?
If we don't deal with each other and you don't like me, I'm like, well, then we just got to say hi. At least I'm honest. Hi, bye. But
I would go up and confront them.
Look at that. It worked. The thing is, it worked. We went up to her. They reconciled. It opened this new possibility for them, and it did change the story.
Well, maybe.
Good things about him.
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't think she's going to change necessarily what she writes. I think she may not be as barbed as she has been.
Would you go up to somebody if they didn't like you?
No, you know how many people don't like me.
Nobody doesn't like you.
No. There are quite a few. Oh, listen, there are quite a few people who don't like me, and I'm okay with it because I told you that was the thing that my mom said to me. Unless you can't handle the fact that some people are not going to like you, or some people are not going to understand you, or some are not, then you can't be an individual. If you insist on being an individual, you got to have the...
healthy could that be?
If someone doesn't like you, send them to me, kiddo, okay?
There you go.
Well, how about this? How about this? Maybe I should get some rose-colored Google glasses, because during an anti-Google housing protest in San Francisco, a journalist who was wearing the Google glass had them snatched off his head and shattered. Because there seems to be so much new technology out there. People are just really passionately opposed to so many. People seem to be really opposed to the Google glass. Okay.
I think a lot of people don't.
What people don't realize is that the Google glass is very teeny, and you can take pictures with that.
Or record.
Or record. You know, just by
there's no red light that says where you know they're recording.
Glasses are the death of privacy.
So that you don't know. I mean, I'm talking to you now. What do you think I'm doing? I'm taking all kinds of pictures of you. Make a face.
Or recording, your conversation.
Or where you are.
And that's why they call these people.
Uploading it.
They call these people glass holes, by the way. Just like, you know, that's the new terminology for it.
But you know what it does?
It's a nice vestige of privacy,
It is, Barbara, and what is happening is it's recording, and you can upload this into your personal computer. So it's like, you know, it's one thing to have surveillance in your business or a nanny cam, but if I'm at a restaurant and I see you got these Google glasses on, either I'm not going to patronize the restaurant, or I'm going to be like, you got to take those off.
Also, you know, who controls the data? You know, they have the same rights as photographers.
They own it.
And that vary.
Nowhere you can go and be in private anymore with Google Glasses.
Well, I guess Google made some, you know, they said that there's like hospitals, casinos, banks, those are places that banned Google Glasses.
I mean, but you don't have a bunch of people picking their nose with these daggone. I mean, there's stuff you do when you don't think people are watching you.
You can do it with voice You can do it with voice command. Take that picture.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just going to get deeper and deeper. Because look, Morgan Freeman is here today. Thank you, God. And he is in a new movie called Transcendence. And in the movie, Johnny Depp has his brain uploaded into a computer so he can live on indefinitely. Now, some experts are saying in real life, this technology is 30 years away. That means it's already happening. But would you want this? Would it still be you?
Have you gone to the... what is it called? Cryogenics?
Yes.
Have you
Cryogenics?
Yes.
So this is where they freeze people, and I did a story on them. You can have your whole body frozen, and you can just have your head frozen, so that when you can come back to life, and they feel you will one day, your body
can be repaired,
so
and that's right.
Freeze. They have computers now that can do everything, but feel.
But mind is part of your soul.
But if you could freeze your soul or your personality, would you want to?
You're about to leave The View on the May 16th. What if we uploaded you so that you'd be able to stay at The View every day after it?
Awful idea.
The thing is, I work so hard believing, my heaven, which is rainbows and flowers and hills. I can't imagine being stuck in a computer.
Wouldn't you love to have your grandmother on a computer and hear her thoughts?
I feel so bad. I'd be like, Grandma, you're missing the rainbows and the flowers to be saying, welcome, you got Grandma.
I would love to have it for
All
Jeffrey.
I want to tell everybody is remember Battlestar Galactica. Once you put artificial intelligence into a form of any kind, all kinds of crazy stuff can happen, because once it starts thinking on its own, it decides it doesn't like how you're doing stuff, then it talks to other AI, it creates this whole thing, then you're leaving your world.
Yeah.
That's the point of the
coming?
What's happening? I think it's already here.
I think it's here.
Yes, just like the break.
Scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the break's
We'll be right back, because the break is here, so we'll be right back.
Bill O'Reilly's on the right side of Hot Topics tomorrow on The View.